Hello everyone, this is the Arris X90. Featuring 1104 7800 kV brushless motors, Gem Fan 2035 props, 12 amp 4-in-1 ASC, F3 flight controller, 25 milliwatt all-in-one camera, and VTX. I get 89 millimeters motor post to motor post. Bottom plate is 2 millimeters. It weighs 76.72 grams. It also comes with an Arris branded 700 milliamp 2S battery and a flight stack instruction sheet. For those of you with eagle eyes, you might notice I've got some scrapes and scratches in the inside of my prop guards, and that's because these prop guards do shift. I think my motor mounting screws are good and tight, but I found that sometimes with crashes and bumps that you would end up shifting a little bit, and then you would have a prop that would stick up against the side. These prop guards are not the same that we've seen elsewhere that I indestructibly tested. They're more like the SBC Maker props. They're the same sort of material. They're less rubbery, a little less durable feeling, and we also have a lot less clearance with our props around the outer edge, and that's the primary reason. You can see this prop has actually got a crack in it. That's one of the main reasons I didn't do the same sort of testing, is I just don't think it will live up to the previous testing that we did with indestructibility. I also think this comes in a little bit on the heavy side for 2S and 2-inch props. Unfortunately, we have a lot of prop in our view in that flight video, and that just stems from the fact that we have either 0 or just only a couple degrees of camera tilt. All the time when we have these canopies, I always worry about that. I've actually got a brushed indoor quad that looked like negative camera tilt. And also look at that flight stack in there. Hopefully that comes through. That's not level at all. So if you get one of these, you're going to need to be sure to calibrate your accelerometer on a nice flat surface if you plan to use angle mode at all. In order to mount your receiver inside, you have to take out a number of different screws. We've got screws here, we've got screws there. We've actually, there's the buzzer right down there. There's another screw, if you can see it, right underneath there. And nope, there's not one up front. I can't remember. But also note that even though they've soft mounted the stack, we have pins connecting the ESC to the flight board. Also, you probably already noticed that it's running an older version of an OSD. For those that haven't been around that long, you might not know that our OSDs used to be a separate chip. Oftentimes, I think in this case, it's actually on the board, but it's called MWOSD, so you cannot control the OSD features through the USB port directly. And Betaflight, you have to use another application. That's a little bit of a downside to this. If you plan to really heavily customize the OSD, you might want to keep that in mind. I am happy that it came with good props. There isn't any need for the mounting screws in this case, because these props do fit on nice and tight. When you do press them on, grip the bell housing of the motor and just kind of twist them down as you push, and they should seat all the way down, just as you see there with mine. I didn't go through any extra props, even though you see that damage to one of my props. Where'd that go again? This one right here. So this one probably would need to be changed out now. It does come with a JST, which I didn't mention in the quick roll, but it does come with a nice thick wire JST. If your batteries don't have a JST, you can always lop this off and put an XT30 on there. I've said this again and again, but it's easier to start with a JST and move to an XT60. But I think at this point in time, it would be best if they just put an XT60 on. Removing the cage as I did, it's not too bad. You know, we've got a couple of screws that go in there and it holds the cage down. You are limited to just running this sort of battery with the cage, and that was a big reason why I didn't want to do that, because it does fit nice and tight. It's a good cage for this battery. I do think that in my hands I probably would have broke it, especially if I would have landed on the back deck or patio. When I go out to fly, I don't have a bunch of these batteries, so I like to use a bunch of different batteries, and I like to go out and fly a number of batteries, and this just wasn't going to work for me. It might work fine for you. I do think they included a pretty decent battery. I'm not sure. This looks an awful lot like those Infinity batteries we would see off of Banggood. It's only rated 30C, but I thought it performed fairly well. At least it performed just as well as the 2S batteries I was using. In the flight video, you don't see me flying with this battery, so you will. I was flying with a 500. You will see a longer flight time if you use this battery all by itself. Also in the flight, you probably noticed that there wasn't a lot of forward angle and fast forward flying. I do give you kind of a cruise around the yard, and that's really kind of what you're limited to with the camera angle. You could get your Dremel out and other tools and change that, but you know, out of the box, this is what you get. I also reverse my motor direction and props, because when I flew it around, just as we did with the last one with these prop guards, that when you would do kind of a coordinated banking turn, that the rear inside motor, which is the motor that has to spin up the most, or at least as equally amount as this, but it's in the back, so it gets dirty air, it has to spin up, and so you'd get this quick drop. Reversing your props, you can see my high side are on the inside on this side, and the high side of the props over here, and then I changed the motor direction through BL Heli. If you don't know how to do that, you can look up a lot of different YouTube videos on BL Heli. It's actually quite easy. You plug in a battery, your USB, launch the app, just go to the motors that you need to and reverse those. Also, you need to change the yaw motor direction in the last video. If you didn't see that last video and you have one of these, or you want to know how to change your motor direction to where it will fly normally, go back and watch that video. I'll put a card to it right up here for you, but you need to go into the CLI and type a couple commands. In my case, every time I've seen that arm dropping with one of these with a prop guard, if we do those commands and we reverse our motors and our props, it fixes it. I tend to fly pretty fast forward, and I tend to do, well, I fly fast forward as capable as the machine is, and I tend to do a lot of 180 turns, and those turns generally bring that behavior out. So if you have troubles, go back, check the steps, make sure you've done them all. There's also a video by Furious. They call it the clean air technique or method. You can search YouTube for that video as well, as far as fixing that arm dropping. But once I've done those things out of the box, it's pretty good. They have done various setup methods. They did put a PID tune on this, so it comes out of the box with the PIDs that I used in the flight. It also comes set up with various modes. It is running on the gyro and PID loop. It is running 2K, 1K. I think where these are going to fit most people's flight habits is going to be that flight in and around close things. We call that close proximity flying, to where you're not wanting to damage your prop so much, and it can take little bumps and still stay in the air. It does have this canopy up, so if you do enable turtle mode, I didn't do that on this one, you can get upright again. You do have to worry a little bit about your antenna, because that's very close to the solder joint. If you bump that too many times, you'll break that joint, and then your VTX will heat up and possibly burn out, because the top solder on here is the ground, and that is very important to your VTX's health and life. So be careful there. You may even want to rig something up or dab some hot glue up in this area in order to create a little bit extra stability. You can use zip ties, but I think they'd have to be pretty thick zip ties. You could run some like horns with zip ties up along this way, and that would also protect. Basically anything you can do to help protect that antenna and from burning your VTX out would be a good thing. If you'd like to check this out further, you can click the link down below in the description. If you have any other comments, questions, suggestions, or otherwise, please leave those in the section down below. I appreciate your time, and thanks for watching.